Yes, children, now let's start our question answers. I'll send you pics of these pages also so that you can write down properly. And before reading the question answers, first I'll tell you that chapter number 6, Changes Around Us, has some new words. I have sorted out these new words. If any other new word also you find that it is difficult, or you have read it first time and it is new to you, then you can add up in these new words. Okay, it is not compulsory that you have to write only these 12. If you find any new word is a means tough word or difficult word is there in your this chapter which you have read first time, so you can add up in this. So let's start with the question answers. First of all, you write heading as I have written here. Answer the followings. First question is, what is meant by reversible change? And before explaining these question answers, children, I want to tell you that we have prepared these question answers by mixing those, or by consulting both the books, old and a new book. So our notes are not matching exactly with the old book as well as with the new book. So you can write down these notes which we are providing you. These are sufficient notes and you have to learn these notes, and question answers will be mostly framed from these parts. Okay, and other than this also you have to read full chapter. Some of the short answers, or we can say very short answers, we can frame from the book also. Means in between the chapter also questions can be framed, but most of the questions will come from your these notes. So these notes are sufficient. Don't bother that ma'am these questions are not matching with your book. These are the sufficient notes. We have means framed our own by consulting both the books. So let's read. First question is, what is meant by reversible change? Means what is the meaning of reversible change? So a change that is not permanent and can reverse to its original form is known as reversible change. You know that, children, in reversible change we can get original form of any substance. If we get original form of any substance after the change, then we can say it is a reversible change. So explain the term solvent and solute. Children, these two words I have explained you 2 times during the explanation, because these two terms are very important for your further classes also. So solvent, I have told you that the medium, here spelling is little bit M is not there. The medium in which a matter gets dissolved is called a solvent. Children, the substance or medium, we can say, suppose water. Water is a medium in which we can dissolve many of the substances. Many matter we can dissolve in water. So water is called as solvent. And what is solute? So let's see, the matter that gets dissolved in a solvent is called solute. Means that thing which dissolve in water is called solute. So here we can take an example of salt as a solute. Next question is, define a physical change. When a substance undergoes changes in its shape, size, state without losing its original properties, it is known as physical change. So children, when we say it is a physical change, when there is only change in their shape, size, or we can say state of matter, any property of the matter will not lose. So that time it is called as physical change. And what is a chemical change? Explain with an example that A chemical change occurs when one or more substances are converted into one or more new substances. A chemical change is permanent. And here we have given example: formation of rust on iron bench. RUST is rust. Okay, spelling of rust you corrected. And rust, the iron bench or articles of iron kept in the open for a long time. Children, here we can see, we can give example of cooking of food also, or so many examples we have studied in your this chapter as a chemical change. Means mainly you should remember that in chemical change, that one new substance can be formed. Not can be formed means when there is a formation of new substance, then only we can say it is a chemical change. So it is not compulsory that only one new substance is formed. More than one also can be formed. So if there is a formation of new substance, so then we can say it is a chemical change, and it is a permanent change and irreversible changes. So give a few examples of slow changes. So here children, you can write down examples of slow changes your own also. I have written rusting of iron, growth of a baby, formation of coal, changes of seasons, day and night. So these all are the slow changes. In the same way, you can write examples of fast changes also. Okay, if we ask about the fast changes, you should know that. Define saturated solution. Saturated solution is a solution to which maximum amount of solute is already added and dissolves, and no further amount of solute can be dissolved in the solution is called as saturated solution. Children, why we say it is a saturated? When we dissolve, suppose we take water and we dissolve sugar slowly. First, in 1 glass of water, we dissolve 1 spoon of sugar. After some time, when it dissolved completely, after that we take more, add 1 more spoon of sugar. It will also dissolve. Then again we use 3rd spoon, then 4th spoon, then 5th spoon. One stage comes that sugar will not dissolve further. Okay, even when we continuously stirring it, then also sugar crystal will settle down at the bottom of our glass. So that state is called as saturated state, means when there will be no further solute can dissolve in that solution. Okay, so that is called saturated solution. What do you mean by solution? What are the effects of heating, cooling on solubility? So first of all, what is solubility? Is the property by which maximum solute is dissolved in a solvent. Children, what is solubility? Actually, this question has written what is meant by solution. It is not solution. Cut this solution word. It is a solubility. Solubility. BILITY. You can make it as a solubility. Okay. What is meant by solubility? So solubility, it is a property through which maximum solute is dissolved in a solvent. Means just now we have seen in the saturated solution that solubility is that property by which we can dissolve maximum quantity of solute in any of the solvent. Okay. And what is its effect? Effect of heating and cooling on this solubility. So we can see that effect of heating on solubility. As we go on heating, the solution, the solubility increases. You know children, if any milk, suppose if you take cool milk, cold milk from refrigerator you take out and you dissolve a spoon of sugar in that milk, and one side you take a hot milk and then you dissolve a spoon of sugar in that. You can easily compare that. We can easily dissolve anything in the hot solution as compared to cold solution. Means in cooling always solubility decreases during cooling, and during heating solubility always increases. Okay, so this thing they have written here, that as we go on heating the solution, the solubility increases, and here effect of cooling is as we go down a solution, as we cool down a solution, its capacity to dissolve a solute decreases. Okay, so children, this is a common thing, you should know that. And after this you have to draw the diagram also. Physical changes, for physical changes you draw this diagram. Means when we heat that water, then it will convert into steam, and when it cools down then it will change into ice cubes. And here always you make both side arrows because these are the reversible reactions. Understand? And after that, for chemical change you draw here burning of paper. Okay, so it is the best example of we can say chemical change. So children, after these question answers, some hot questions are there. So let's see. Explain through an example that both the physical and chemical changes takes place together. Children, sometimes this also happen that both the physical and chemical changes we can see in one of the change, means one of the object. So burning of candle is an example of both the physical and chemical changes. So we can't say here burning. Burning is not correct word here. Here you can write as a glowing of candle. Okay, means जब कैंडल जलती है तो कैंडल को हम ग्लो करते हैं, उस टाइम पे हम दोनों चेंजेस देख सकते हैं, फिजिकल एंड केमिकल. सो हाउ this melting of wax is a physical change. I have explained you already that when wax melt, that molten wax again we collect and make again candle from the molten wax. So this is a physical change, but burning of wax vapor is a chemical change. Means when wax vapors burn, that they will convert into ash. So this is a chemical change. Here we can't convert those burnt wax vapors into wax. So this is a chemical change. So in this case, in the case of candle, we can see both the changes together. Question number 2 is, how can you say that breaking of glass is a irreversible change as well as physical change? Means we know that always physical changes are reversible. Means not always, most of the time physical changes are reversible changes, but breaking of glass is an example of physical change, but irreversible change. So how? Breaking of glass is a irreversible change because broken pieces of glass cannot be joined together again. You know that broken pieces of glass, if we try to join them again by some glue or by some of the adhesive, then also we get crack in them. Okay, means cracks can be remained there, so that we can't get proper original that glass which we have previously. So that's why it is not a reversible change. It is irreversible change. It is a physical change because no new substance is formed during this process, this change. Okay, it is why it is physical change, because no new substance is formed here. If any new substance is formed in any of the change, so it is an example of a chemical change, if there is any new substance is formed. But here no new substance is formed, broken pieces are also pieces of glass only, so it is an example of physical change. So children, this is all about your chapter number 6, changes around us. So complete your work and write all the question answers side by side as we are providing notes to you, because after that again we call your copies for correction, notebook for correction. And you know that half yearly exams are also we will conduct in the month of, most probably in the month of September. So you be ready with your notes. Okay, so I'll send you children pics of these notes also, so that you can complete your work properly and you can see properly from these pages. So Jai Gurudev.